made sense to leave you here, in your first build, the one for Joplin. He was the only one who didn't turn on you. It seemed right. You were always bugging me to write more, so I followed your lead and scratched down a few words to see you off, I guess. You were still burning when I found you. Your friends had run off into their holes in the ground, out of sight. Why did it all have to come to this? Why couldn't you make them listen? I didn't mean for any of it to happen. My damn leg. After you died, I couldn't stop them. The bunkers you built, your plans, they took them all. Except this one. There's a big storm coming, they say. All the wildlife is spooked. No one's standing eye to eye, brother. Maybe you got out just in time. Sutherland.
I guess I knew, but I didn't know I knew it. That don't make any sense. I get it. This stuff with my brother. I can't keep it straight. But he's gone now. I know that. They turned on him, the bastards. Never did get the chance to ask him why. That's how I found him. All burned up. Just bones and ash. Sea and wind and tides, I understand. But people, the lights, is it yesterday? Or today or tomorrow? God, I sound crazy. It's just flashes in my head like an old movie. Me, my brother, and all the rest. But now I remember.
After returning Wyatt's bones to Sutherland, he offers his thoughts on this disturbing discovery. He did in fact know about what happened to Wyatt, but he couldn't remember anything. It doesn't make sense how he knew, but he couldn't keep anything regarding Wyatt straight in his head. All that mattered was that Wyatt was gone. This is when Sutherland realized his brother was in fact betrayed by his crew. Unfortunately, he never found out why, as Wyatt had already died by the time he found him. He could never figure out and understand other people, which is why he stuck to the water. Then he mentions something about the lights, which I believe is connected more to what he says next than it does to the auroras. He is seeing flashes of his life, past and present. Everything we know about his mental condition points to fragmented memories and cloudy thoughts. He is only remembering pieces of his life, but it comes and goes. Whenever water is involved though, suddenly everything becomes clearer. Wyatt's remains were all he needed to remember everything.
Yeah, Joplin's bunker in Pleasant Valley. Take him back, my brother. I mean what's left of him, his remains. Go back, put him back to rest, and then seal it up. The whole damn thing. Blow the hatch, just like in those old schematics. You read them, right? Bring some wire. Look for an exposed switch and you tie that sucker off. It should do the job when you close up the hatch. Let me know when you get the job done. I mean, a piece of the hatch is good enough. Just something I can keep on my boat. And then we'll be all square, you and me.
All that was left to do for Sutherland was to return Wyatt back to Joplin's prepper cache and put him back to rest. The cache where he died was also the first one he built, which Sutherland believed was the most fitting place for him to be buried. From this, we finally understand what these 3 blueprint pieces were for. They were the blueprints to the hatch door of the prepper caches, which included an explosive mechanism to seal it from the outside. This was a failsafe for the prepper caches to prevent someone from the outside getting in. This is why there were so many problems with the hatches and why the preppers pushed Wyatt to perfect them. It is entirely likely that they decided to dispose of Wyatt after the problem was resolved. Back in Pleasant Valley, this final request requires a sacrifice to be made. The 10th prepper cache must be sealed forever, a point of no return for anyone using it. The deed was done. Wyatt would rest inside the now sealed prepper cache, leaving only the hatch wheel as proof his tomb was safe. Returning to Misanthrope's Island would allow the survivor character to turn in one last special request. The hatch wheel would provide Sutherland the reminder he needed to move on.
You're back. Well, if anything in this new world makes sense, it's leaving him there to rest. Whew. Brain fog's clearing a bit thanks to you. Who would believe any of this shit? Don't matter. I'll be around. For now.
There wasn't much left for Sutherland to say. His brother was long gone. Our job was done. We provided him a form of closure, which I believe is what allowed the brain fog to clear a little bit. No matter how unbelievable this tale was, everything made sense for him for the first time since who knows how long. For now, this is the end of Sutherland's tale, and the end of the Tales from the Far Territory. From the very beginning, we knew that the narrative tales included in the Tales from the Far Territory expansion were going to connect to Wintermute in some way. Originally, we only knew that there were going to be 3, which included Signal Void, Buried Echoes, and Last Horizon. To everyone's surprise, there was a 4th, seemingly unrelated tale. Despite it not resembling the Tales trilogy in any way, Sutherland's tale is absolutely connected in some way. He was certainly not involved in Rudiger's project or anywhere near the Langston mine. Clearly though, his mental state is of concern and has a lot to do with the Tales trilogy despite no direct connection. Throughout Sutherland's tale, we were able to see the telltale signs of what we in this community refer to by many names. Whether you call it Rudiger's Plague, the Langston Mine Illness, the Perseverance Mills Outbreak, or any combination of these words, this disease has left its mark on the history of Great Bear Island. Mysterious and still not fully understood despite the conclusion of the Tales from the Far Territory, we still have a huge piece of the puzzle to solve. The Perseverance Mills side of this disease has had very little screen time, but the few scenes that revolve around it show us how it is seemingly connected to the Langston mine side. Water. Water keeps coming up in such strange ways across everything and everyone that is connected to these 2 places on Great Bear Island. Whether it's the dreams, the writings, or the conversations we can read and hear, water has consistently made things clearer for the victims. As an outside observer of these outbreaks, the connection between Rudiger's project and Wintermute couldn't be any clearer. Sutherland, like the people of Perseverance Mills and the members of Rudiger's project, is suffering from a debilitating mental condition, resulting in sleep-related issues, memory problems, loss of focus, and a slew of other mental and psychological issues. The strangest part of this condition is how every single victim of it has demonstrated a fixation on water. Despite Sutherland's clear love of the sea, what makes it clear that he is suffering from this illness is how cohesive and concise his thoughts and conversations are when they involve water. Every other conversation shows some form of confusion, forgetfulness, or demonstrates a wild shift in tone. As of the time of writing, we are merely a few short months from finally getting the answers we as a community have been looking for almost 2 years. The light at the end of all things will reveal everything that Hinterland has been building up to for over 10 years. If everything goes according to plan, this is my last lore video for The Long Dark for 2024. This last year has been full of surprises, but one thing that continues to surprise me is how supportive this community is. The Long Dark has a history with this channel for as long as it's been around, which is almost 10 years now, but it's these last 2 years that have shown me how important this game is for my life. Without this game and its community, I don't know if this channel would exist in its current form. It is nothing short of a miracle that I was able to carve this little corner of mine on YouTube, and I can't thank you, the viewers, enough. I have to thank Hinterland, The Long Dark, and its community of fans for giving me a reason to create this. For the love of lore, there are many game worlds to explore. I hope that 2025 is the year I can start exploring more than just The Long Dark. Here's to 2024. A year that has given me a reason to smile in such a cold, dark world. Happy New Year's to all, and may 2025 bring new light.